Inferno, Canto 14. Dante enters upon the third division of the seventh circle, a plain of burning sand in which are punished those who have committed violence against God, Campanius, an enumeration of the infernal rivers.
Love for my native country gaining force, the scattered leaves I gathered up again, and rendered back to him who now was hoarse. Then came we to a boundary which parts the third and second circles, where are seen the racks of justice and her horrid arts. These novel things more clearly now to show, I first must mention that we reached a plain in whose ungenial bed no plant can grow. This plain is compassed by the mournful wood, encircling which is thrown the fosse profound, and here upon the edge of both we stood. Before us lay a thick and arid sand, resembling in appearance that parched ground trodden by Canto and his martial band. Vengeance divine, how dreaded shouldst thou be by each who reads the horrors I relate, and contemplates the torments viewed by me. Of naked spirits many a flock I saw, and who all most wretchedly bewailed their fate, and each seemed governed by a different law. Some say supine upon the heated plain, and some their limbs all drawn together sate, while others never ceased to pace remain. More numerous far were these who paced around, and fewer those who lay tormented, though their lamentations burst with louder sound. O'er all the sandy desert falling slow were showered dilated flakes of fire, like snow on alpine summits, when the wind is low. As Alexander in the glowing lands of eastern Ind saw solid flakes of fire descend in showers upon his warrior bands, and ordered straight with provident command that each should trample on the vaporous dire, lest they unite and spread o'er all the sand. Fell thus eternally the fiery rain, whence like to tinder under flint and steel the soil ignited to augment their pain. In ceaseless motion and perpetual play their wretched hands on either side they wheel, the still descending flames to drive away. Then I, O Master, thou who vanquishest all who oppose thee, save the fiends who came fierce at the gate our entrance to contest. What mighty one is that, who stern and proud appears regardless of the blasting flame, as by the tempest he were unsubdued? Lo, at my words he raised his voice on high, for straight perceived he that of him I spoke. Such as I was in life, in death I am. Though angry Jove his hardy workmen tire, from whom the pointed thunderbolt he took, the day I fell beneath the blasting fire, or thought the rest he at the forge upbraid. In Mongibello, wearied all in turn, exclaiming, Haste thee, aid, good Vulcan, aid! As once he cried in the Phlegrean flight, and through his fiercest shaft my bosom burned. From sweet revenge he ne'er shall reap delight. With greater vehemence than spake my guide, that hitherto had e'er been heard by me, O Campanius, in that thy impious pride thou dost not quench, more pangs doth heaven assign. For save thy rage no punishment could be fit retribution for a wrath like thine. Turning to me a milder look he gave. Lo, one, he cried, of those 7 kings who erst beleaguered Thebes, and had and seems to have little respect for his almighty lord. But as I told him, his own rage accursed is to his bosom a deserved reward. Now come behind me and beware, he said, thy feet thou set not on the burning sand, but close along the forest ever tread. Silent we came to where a little rill, gushing from out of the wood, runs through the land, so red, its waters make me shudder still. E'en as the rivulet from Bilium, shared by the sinners, doth its course pursue, so through the arid sand flowed down the stream. Its bed and sloping sides along the way were petrified, and both the margins too, whereon I straight perceived our passage lay. Mid all the wonders I to thee have shown, since at that gate we first an entrance made, whose gloomy threshold is denied to none, Nothing within these regions hast thou found so worth thy notice as this river dread, whose vapors quench the flames that fall around. These words concluded, I besought my guide, that as he had awaked in appetite, my hunger might with food be satisfied. An isle there is encircled by the sea, ruined and waste, he said. Its name is Crete, under whose king once flourished chastity. A mountain rises in that ancient land, named Ida, joyful erst with woods and streams, deserted now like some forbidden strand. This for the secret cradle of her son chose Rhea, who to drown the infant's screams filled all the air with clamors of her own. A huge old man stands in the mount upright, to Damietta turn his shoulders vast. Rome as a mirror is before his sight. His head is wrought of finely tempered gold, of purest silver are the arms and breast, down to the hips of brass is formed the mold. Thence to the feet of polished steel 'tis made, save the right foot on which his weight he bears, and that alone of clay is fashioned. All parts except the gold are sorely rent, while from the fissure gush forth copious tears, which in the cave collected find a vent. These flowering hither broken rocks among, from Acheron and Styx and Phlegethon, whence in his straight canal they pass along, till at the bottom of the infernal pit they form Cocytus Lake. But that anon thou shalt behold. I need not speak of it. Then I to him, the present stream accursed, it from our world above it floweth, say, why at this nether ridge appears it first? He answered me, Thou know'st the place is round, and though full long hath hither been thy way, still on the left descending the profound. Not yet throughout the circle hast thou gone. If aught of novelty thou witness then, no need that wonder on thy looks be shown. O master, tell me where, again I said, are Phlegethon and Lethe, this of rain composed, and that of which no mention thou hast made. He answered me, Thy questions please me well, but as to one, the red and boiling wave might surely of itself thy doubts dispel. Lethe thou shalt behold far distant hence. There when the shades resort their forms to lave, when crime hath been removed by penitence, now is it fitting time to leave the wood. In the same path with me direct thy feet, the margins unconsumed afford a road, for over them no flame retains its heat.